Okay, right then, this is a serious video. And the reason why it's so serious is because obviously with everything that's been going on in the world right now, you know, with George Floyd and all the killings that have been done by the police, so the authorities, you know, it's just so hurtful to know that this is going on and it keeps on going on all the time. It's something that it's just painful. It's painful to be experiencing all the time. But I really want to talk to people really about how we can be more united, because I'm feeling like there's so many friendship groups that are getting broken, and there's people, family and friends are literally falling out with each other just because maybe one person didn't post a dot on their screen, or another person hasn't forwarded and copied pasted something on their page on Facebook or on Instagram, and because they're not seen to be actively hurting or crying out or angry like the rest of the world is right now, it almost is perceived that that person is acting as if they are as if they don't care, when that is not the case. You know, people do care, people really do care, but not everybody wants to show their feelings publicly online, and I don't think that they should have to. And I think that when we think about unity, what we think about, a lot of us think, is that we're supposed to be the same. Now, I have got a fantastic example for this. I've been reading up on this app, and basically it talked about unity in a football team. So listen to this. So think about a football team. There are different positions on the field, so we all know that you got the left wing, you've got like the goalie. I'm not even a football fan, but you got all different, the midfielder, you've got different players that play different roles. So each position has a different skill set, so the roles and the responsibilities, but all the players on the team march towards that particular area or the same end zone, because all of their goals are the same. They all want to get the ball in the net. They want to get it to the back of the net. So that is what they want to do. So basically, we have to do the same thing. We have to think, well, what is our end goal when we're putting these posts up? What is it that we want to achieve? How can we achieve maximum unity and still get to this end goal? What can we do? You know, because we've gone through this so many times, so many people are being hurt, being murdered, you know, emotionally scarred for life because of the local authorities, or because of authorities in general. You know, they're not respecting us, and they're not respecting the boundaries that they're supposed to be respecting. You know, we have to respect them, but are they respecting us? So we need to look at how we can be united to each other. So if you guys have got any plans or any ways in which we can do this, where one, you don't have to be forced to put something on your Facebook page, or two, you don't have to go on a march, because I'm not saying that for everyone. Not everybody wants to go on a march. Some people are frightened to go on a march just because of the fact that there is that awareness and that presence of the police. I mean, the police are not innocent in this situation. You go on a march and you've got the police still spraying CS gas on little kids. You know, I heard of a story where a little 5-year-old girl had pepper spray sprayed in her face because she wouldn't back off, and she's 5 and the guy's in a bulletproof vest. She's 5 years old. You know, this is what everyone's going on a march for. But to go on a march and be attacked on a peaceful march is even worse. It's just like, wow, what do you do? We're trying to stop this. We've got police that are, I'm glad that the justice, as in the officers that killed George, have been charged. But at the same time, there are other officers that are getting away with it. They have got away with it. You know, there's people that I know of that have been murdered by the police and hurt by the police. Families are being scarred every single day, every year, because of what they're doing. And all the time it's all about, oh well, it's a waiting game, it's a waiting game. It's not a waiting game. We shouldn't have to be waiting for someone to be charged of a crime that they have committed. That person is no longer supposed to be able to wear the badge of honour for that queen, for the queen, if they have killed somebody. They should not be wearing that. They should not be wearing that at all. I mean, what right do they have to wear that uniform for protection of the general public when they're the ones that are actually not protecting us? What right do they have? You know, how are we going to get this justice done? How can we get justice? What can we do? What should we do? Should we go on a march? Is it safe to do a march? Should we post stuff on Facebook? Where should we go? What do we do? If it was the other way around and it was us that had done the murder, would we not be in prison the same day? And would we not be in prison until it was on trial? You know, I think that when somebody is murdered, whether you're a police officer or not a police officer, you should be treated exactly the same way as anybody else that would be treated in the justice system. Justice is there for a reason. Now, we need real justice in this system, and we need it now, not next week, not flipping, you know, a month's time or 3 years down the line. Oh, we have to wait. Oh, the most that we'll do is we'll name the officers that did it. That's not good enough. Naming the officers is not good enough. It still gives them their freedom. It still gives them freedom for something that they did and tore away and broke up a family, broke up families, broke up so much because of the fact that they felt that they wanted to kill that person. Couldn't stop doing it. Couldn't stop. You know, what right do they have to do that? What do we do? What do we do? I need some suggestions. I want to be united, and I'm not saying just united with people of colour. I want to be united with the whole world on this. I want all of us to go forward and get justice done. You know, it's wrong what's happening. I love everyone. I have love for everyone. I want my love out there for the whole world, because at the end of the day, I love God and God loves us, and the reason he loved us was because he sent his son for us so that we could have that life. And I think that when we try and be examples of if we try and show love, it starts from us first. We can only show love because God gave love to us first. So if we're showing love, then the more we show it, then the more it will come out. But we're not just going to just show love. We have to be that example of what Christ was. We have to have unity, I think, with him first, for unity to come, you know, as a group, because we all come from different backgrounds with different ideas, and, you know, it's important that we still get to the end result, you know, get to that end of the field, as it were, like the footballers that are playing that game. You know, they've all got those different skill sets, and we are those individual players. But we've got to play this game right, because at the end of the day, this is the next generation. I have a son that is growing up, and I'm literally worried that if anything ever happens to him via the police, I mean, he's a good child, he doesn't do anything wrong, but at the same time, you can't trust whether the police are going to do anything to him. One day I actually had to say to him, and this is the worst thing I actually did, because one of my friends was murdered by the police. I actually told my son to get down on the floor as fast as he could, because I was worried that if he stood there and says, oh, why do I have to do that? Why should I? That how would he get shot? Would he get tasered? You know, this was what I had to do with my son one day, because I was like, I was worried that something bad was going to happen to him, and when he's older. And I say, never mind answering back, just do as you're told. But then it's like, why should he, when he ain't done anything? Why should I have to teach my child that? Because my friend was murdered because they never got on the floor that fast, and even when they were down, they still got battered and still got killed. You know, so it don't matter whether you do as you're told or you don't do as you're told. You still, from you've got this colour skin, it's like you're a target. You're just a target. You know, we need to stop this racism. Racism is something that is taught from a young age. I watched a video earlier on today, and it was supposed to be a funny video, and at first it was funny. There's a little girl sitting in the kitchen with her mom talking, and her mom says, "Who's at all Mr. Kipling's slices?" And she goes, "It wasn't me." And she said it so innocent and sweet. And then the mom says, "So who done it then?" She goes, "It was a burglar," she says. And her mom said, "So the burglar came in the house and he ate the Kipling slices, but he didn't take the TV, and he never stole he didn't take no money or jewellery or anything like that. He just came in and ate the food." She's like, "Yeah." Next thing she said was, "And it was a black man." And that was it then, because that was like, I was like well offended by that, because after everything that's going on right now, we shouldn't actually be seeing these kind of things. But when you actually look deeper into it, you can see that racism is something that is taught. It's taught from a young age. So people that are young don't even realise that they're actually doing it. It's what the parents are allowing them to do. It's what the parents have probably been taught as well, so they don't feel no different. They look at people in a different way just because of the fact that they got a different skin colour. You know, it's wrong. It's just like, imagine you got two people that go for a job interview. One's wearing a suit and the other one may be like not so well off as the other person. So the one who looks better, you're going to give them a good chair, and the other one who's not looking so good, you might give them a chair down the hall, or if they even get a chair at all. Like, you know, that is not the love that we're meant to be showing to people. We're meant to give people equal opportunities and equal rights in order for them to be able to get a chance in life. I think one thing that we all need to do is re-educate ourselves on black history, because all we keep talking about is slavery. It ain't just about slavery. It's black people have done a lot of good stuff. They've invented a lot of good things that we use today, but nobody talks about those things. All I ever see on TV is, you know, slavery, or if I don't see slavery, I might see an African country with a child with flies on their face and not being able to have any clean water. That was the image that I grew up with when I was a child. That's the image that stayed with me for a long time. So anytime I thought about what Africa was like, I always believed that that's what it was. I never knew any difference because I hadn't been taught anything different, and that's what I was taught at school. You're not taught anything else apart from to stay under. Being the only black child in that classroom, when you put that on in front of just one black child in the class, the whole class stares at that one child. The whole class singles you out, and even you start to hate black just because of the fact that, or you'll say, "Well, I'm not African," or "I'm not Jamaican," or "I'm not this," just because you're trying to fit in with a crowd that shouldn't have to try and fit in with. You know, we should all be united and not look at each other in a bad way. There shouldn't be no poverty in the world. There shouldn't be none. But there is. How do we stop poverty? How do we stop, you know, so much stuff? We give so much. You got that much millions of pounds going through children in need. Not just through children in need, but there's charities all around the world. But hardly any of that money even touches the people that need it. You're lucky if they're getting 10%. But I know that when I make it, I know for a fact that I'll be the one that will be giving out my money. I don't care. I'd rather give my money away to people that deserve it, and I will give it to them by hand. I will not put no money through no charity. Never ever again. Never again. That's how I see it. But what I'm saying right now today is we need unity with this situation with the police. We need them to be charged. We need equality when it comes to a crime. It doesn't matter whether it was a citizen of a working class citizen or whether it's a police officer. They need to be charged exactly the same way. It needs to be done. We need to do this, and we need to stick with it now, because it's unfair. It's unfair how justice is never done, and how the grieving process can last. It lasts anyway, because when you lose that person, you've lost them. But it's prolonged when there's no justice. It's prolonged because the pain is longer when somebody does not get heard, and when the person gets away with what they've done, and they don't even get done for manslaughter or nothing, or murder. They don't get nothing. It's just literally part of the job. You know, how is it part of the job? I could go on for ages. I could actually go on for ages, but I'm not going to go on for ages. But I just wanted to do this video because I wanted to let people know that I do care. And yeah, I know I haven't posted stuff about George on my Facebook page. And it's not because I don't want to, because I don't want to jump in on the bandwagon of what's going on. But I am here, and I'm here because I want to show that if there's anything that I could do that can make that change, then I'll be happy to do it, as long as it's within the laws and everything else. But I do believe that we need to stick together now. There's different team players, and we need to act like we are those team players going for that end result. And the end result has to be what? It has to be that we get justice. Justice all the way. Now, you know, if you want to go on a march, go on a march. No one's saying that you shouldn't go on it. If you want to put stuff on your Facebook page to support it, no one's saying that you shouldn't. But let's find a way that actually is going to make sure that we actually do get justice this time. Let's put our heads together, whether we meet up, whatever we have to do, and let's get this sorted out. It's wrong what's happening. We need to stick together on this. And yeah, and this is not just me saying this to just black people. I'm saying this to everybody. I teach everybody when it comes to learning to drive, because I believe everyone has an opportunity, and I don't see colour. All I see is that, you know what, if that person's been through something hard, I'm there. I love everybody. I always do. I don't care whether you're black, white, Chinese, Indian, whatever you may be, Pakistan. It doesn't matter to me. I love all my peoples, not just because they're my peoples, but yeah, I miss them actually right now. But we do need to stop this racism business, man. It's not fair. It's not good to treat people lesser than ourselves because we think we're better than anyone else. We're not better than anyone. Nobody is. We're all, you know, equal. And I would say something, but it's kind of rude, so I won't. But yeah, I just want you all to have a God bless day. Know that God loves you. He loves me too. And if we are united and we show love and we start changing how we do things as well, and we stick together and we don't fall out with each other over foolishness, I think that we will get a lot further in life, and our goals will actually be met a lot sooner when we actually start uniting. Remember, we can't be united if we think that everybody has to do exactly the same as what the other person's done. Unity is about just making sure we all get to that same result in the end anyway. Anyway, I know this video went on for ages. I just felt like so passionate about it, but I'm really grateful for you to watch this video to the end. Any suggestions, please comment. Please send me a message personally or whatever you need to do. But yes, we need to sort this out and we need to stick together. Anyway, take care, get your thinking caps on, and let's get connected.